instructions will not be too technical for you. Push the button. Simple instructions fills me with wonder and pride. Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you. No amount of sheer force you exert can budge the slab even a hair's breadth. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
Ancient runes, weird contraptions. This place is an arcanist's dream. Boring.
The Meistr is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? You've been playing pretend all your life, but the reality is quite different. No, becoming the divine means taking on the power of all the gods and the responsibility for all the races. The divine was created by the gods to shelter us from the void. The divine cannot use his power for anything else. Very well, then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. The ingredients are in the cupboard, the sauce in the fountain. The ritual is described in the tome by the bookcase, and, well, I'm sure a fine reptile like yourself would have no trouble summoning some fire.
The Meistr looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
And please do not lose anything. I pray you'll be more careful with my materials than with your empire.
Opening the door, you see a selection of ingredients, thrown together in no particular order. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot, nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and drudene oil. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed.
rubbish. Boring.
Are you simple? Perform the ritual. Ingredients in the cupboard, ritual in the book, source in the fountain. Go!
As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your own soul.
Deepest recess of my soul. But it looks like the Hall of Echoes.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
Red Prince, come. Come closer, so that you may see me as I truly am. You will see when you look me in the eyes.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle. Everything becomes brighter, sharper. Blacks and whites become glorious bursts of color, then fade back into their accustomed spectrum.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell, and see. Please, speak the spell.
Gone is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the goddess Zorl-Stissa in all her spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. And now I've come to seek some power in return. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Sourcerers nourishes herself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel it deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. Don't you dare to be ungrateful after all I've done for you. I sheltered you. Now you must shelter me. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. Droplet by droplet, we are being drained. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. Our battle is a work in progress. I never said we can't turn the tide. You must realize, Red Prince, that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. We are I. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the Void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. It most certainly will be. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source, in which the powers of the Seven lie united. We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. It was a time of selflessness and sacrifice in the face of our old enemy. It was an act of heroism, and a dreadful mistake to boot, which we must rectify. The Void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension. Not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it. Only he who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom, this world's liberator. I hope you understand them to their full extent. The other gods must either bow to you, or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own god Woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard our world. One at the expense of all others. So make no mistake, Red Prince. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your blood-red hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and your empire. I promise that yours alone will be the powers of the lake. And to the lake I will lead you. But not yet. Not until you've become a true master of the Source. Until you speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a god Woken can, and wield its most powerful spells.
Laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
You flatter me, my prince. But if all I had to do was give, you would long since have received. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first you must learn to channel the Source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the Source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivellon, and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the Source. Once you have, you may return to me here. Something that'll make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead, made manifest in Source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead linger. And so much more. But I'm no longer who I once was, bound to you as I've become. I will teach you what I can, But the knowledge that will expand the bounds of your soul, that you'll have to hunt for yourself. Best of luck, Red Prince.
A man's spirit stands before you, clad in scholarly dress. When your eyes meet, he staggers back, terrified.
Who has taken my books? My notes? They were here just a moment ago. Everything was peaceful again. Sweet Armadia, why do you test your chronicler so, haunting me with spirits? Am I cursed? Has the goddess turned her back on me?
The chronicler shudders, looking sick to his stomach.
Again. This again. I sleep, then I wake, and another piece of the world is gone. When we were in Reaper's Eye, when I saw those tomes and scrolls, I was myself again. For a moment, I was alive. But the vision always fades. I'm just a remnant of the Empress's ambition. Why can't I escape? Why is there never a way out? Me? I archived Rivellon's history. I used ink to immortalize greatness on the page. A lizard empress sought my services. She needed an ancient design restored from a damaged text. She told me the design was brilliant. When the armor was forged, the empress showed it to me, and she trapped me inside. Consumed me. If it wasn't for me, the armor wouldn't exist at all. This is my fault. If I knew the way, I'd shout until every god heard me. But I have no idea. I simply want this to end.
The chronicler puts his head in his hands, collapsing in silent defeat.
The Meistr stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods above, there might be something to you after all.
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She stares intently for a moment, taking in every detail before sighing deeply.
You didn't have enough source, did you? You had all the materials, but not the source. That is unfortunate. You may well have that potential, but at the same time, how to put this? I don't trust you to tie your bootlaces without accidentally hanging yourself, let alone controlling the powers of creation. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only Source Masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turn into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain. Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to. Were the circumstances any different, I would indeed agree. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
The Meistr doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. Alas, I am. And we do not have time to nitpick morals. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource, but do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
Quercus! What are you looking at? Egad, stop gawking at the shield. You ought to be quite used to such journeys into that stone realm by now. Meanwhile, the acorn draws nearer. I read through some tomes I saw that cranky old lizard carrying. Some fascinating leads, but nothing like the power we need to stop the Knights of Dre and their wicked plot. Our gargantuan friend is easily impressed. Wait until it learns that I'm a knight, a scholar, and a wizard capable of saving the world. No, of course it knows that already, Quercus. Yes, I'm aware it's the entire basis of our partnership. No, I most certainly do not feel the need to return the compliment. I owe our shield my life several times over. I hardly need to grovel and thank it each time. I'm sure it knows I appreciate it. Now, if you're quite finished ogling your favorite long-legged scratching post, we need to get on and save the world already.
What's up, Chief? Well, I think I should focus on getting this demon out of my head. And of course, I think you should help me. And if we pick up a few new source tricks along the way, so be it.
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A godwoken in my presence. You honor me. I am the Meistr's apprentice. I study under her, but I do not learn. I hear tales of the ritual, of what lies beyond. Such wonders, such powers. I decide to pursue them myself. Meistr tells me it cannot happen, that I am not godwoken. But in my heart, I know I'm special. I try. I burn the root. I breathe the smoke and it burns me back. No air fills my lungs, only fire. When the darkness falls, I cannot cry out. I leave my life behind with a shameful whimper.
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special. I am dead.
There's one unattempted egg behind them. Perhaps there's still a chance. There you are, little egg. Boring.
Off you go. I can't be seen raternizing with the likes of you. A sorcerer? Ha! Second rat wizards by my book. The reddish-coloured flesh beasts round here string your kind up by their hands. Well, I'm a rat. And you're some kind of flick-tongued scale slitherer. Never the twain shall mix, thus spaketh the reddish large-style flesh beasts. Just look at what happened to that lovely flick-tongued scale slitherer when she spent too much time with a lumbering large-style flesh beast of her own. No thank you.
The rat hisses at you with sibilant malevolence.
Carry on then, stink beast. Don't let little old me distract you from your very important stink business.
shimmering ghost of a kin magister turns her gaze upon you. She holds your stare, boring into your head, searching the blacks of your eyes for the secrets of your soul. But in so doing, she shows you hers. You are Zeushan, a young lizard magister, devoted to the Order. More than this, you are in love with a comrade, a human man of wit and kindness and sweet disposition, who goes by the name of Boris. You are Zeushan once more. Alexander dies. Worse, your human comrades look at you askance, as if his murder was your fault. Even Boris turns against you. When he's posted to Fort Joy, he does not say goodbye. Your heart is broken. Posted to the graveyard shift in the dark of night on the outskirts of town, you do your duty diligently, but your heart is no longer in it. So when you catch a couple of young sorcerers fleeing Raymond's net, you see how deeply in love they are. You do not turn them in, you help them to escape. But in the morning, they are caught and under torture give you up. They go to Fort Joy. You are hanged right here.
The spirit keeps glancing back. A difficult task since his shoulders are tense as iron.
How can I help? I don't have a choice. You're the one wearing those gauntlets, dragging me around this way and that. I cannot do anything to prevent it. We are bound together.
She leaps up and grabs the egg with her foot, kicking it under her warm underbelly and settling down upon it contentedly.
Shh, little beeper baby, Mama's here, warm and here with you again.
She cocks a black eye up at you and winks.
Thank you. I have something for you. Something I buried behind the coop. It's yours, it's yours! Unless some other scratchily poker found it first, of course.
Happy little family, aren't we? Yes, we are.
Egg! Egg! Beeper!
Brood an eggy baby egg.
Did you expect a needle?
What's this? I found something.
You helped us. You brought the baby back.
History is written by victors. Do not doubt, our divine order will prevail. I'll show you. Low-hearted boys are no match for Manchesters. Take that!
Doubled over in agony, the shivering Magister spirit mumbles to himself, tightly clutching 3 golden stalks in one fist. Noting the attention, he straightens, revealing insignia spelling Kinnet, and a jagged wound spilling his innards upon the ground. He reaches a ghostly hand into your chest and squeezes your heart. You become a Kinnet, his memories flooding over you and replacing your own. Warmth, comfort. You are Kinnet, playing cards with your mates in a cozy barracks. You stagger to tipsy attention as a white-clad magister commands that one of your troop seek a lost caravan. It's a one-man job, a job no man wants. Your sly-eyed troop leader holds out straws to you and the others. Who will investigate? You feel the short straw and hear them shout, "Kinnit!" You know what that means. A lonely traipse in the cold dark. You dawdle and grumble all the way, sobering as you find the overturned caravan. Massacre. Your lantern reveals ravaged corpses in every direction. Inhaling sharply, you smell a thick black stench you remember secondhand from the few void-woken corpses your troops have found. As you approach a dark thicket, the stench grows stronger. In a flash of void and blood, a claw rakes savage stripes across your guts. As Kinnit dies, all goes black. Staggering back from Kinnit's deathly grasp, only your own blood now pumps through your heart. With your living eyes, you see him trembling in front of you, desperately holding out 3 straws. As you pluck the short straw from his hands, Kinnit weeps with relief. His wound disappears in turn, and he's restored to the model image of a strapping young soldier. He looks around, then looks at you, and then he smiles. Smiling broadly, Kinnit fades away.
History.
The spirits of a magister and a dwarf are locked in ethereal combat. Their vicious blows make no impact, yet they struggle on. Mid-snarl, the dwarf spies your presence and staggers back to address you.
Sorcerer! You must hate the Reds as much as I do, eh? Rightly so. Reds had sorcerers locked up tight in that caravan. And you know where they were sending them? You look like you've been there yourself.
The Magister lunges for the dwarf, his exasperation clear.
Anna, you saw it with your own eyes. You know Sorcerer's law, Voidwoken, and you know we'd all still be alive if you hadn't attacked our caravan. Before it all, Voidwoken stole the Sorcerers along the cliffs, headed for Seven knows where.
Not to flip your flops or nothing, but 'tis more that my boss Lohar is against Magisters than for Sorcerers, if you know what I mean.
The Magister snorts in disdain.
Lohar, I should have known. Sorcerer, if you want to stay alive around these parts, you'll stay far, far away from that walking vermin. Though, on the other hand, maybe you should go stand near him. Maybe the Voidwoken could take him out where we failed. Ha!
The dwarf eyes you steadily and silently, his mouth a straight line, and his eyes like marbles of steel. The Magister shrugs.
Well, if I knew that, we'd have taken him out long ago. All I can say is, he's somewhere in Driftwood, and everything he touches turns into annihilation. You dare strike me? Step back at once.
History will remember you Reds were all beneath the Black Ring.
History.
Ah, yes. One of Mari's heroes passes.
You ever think about running off, like Barmby and Sandy?
Hell no. I don't want rain over derpy quarters.
This town doesn't look much equipped to entertain a nobleman like myself. Pity.
Oh, we dwarves had a kingdom, and we will have it back. I won't always be sweeping, I'll be riding horseback. We dwarves had a kingdom, and a proud knight was I won't always be sweeping, for my kingdom I'll die. Thanks to Bessie, another one. More queer folk than commoners in Driftwood these days. Plain as day. Don't take orc eyes to see you're as queer as a pear-shaped apple. Just look at you. Red as my favourite beets you are. Never saw no lizard like that before. Anyway, tavern's just down the road. Can't miss it. 'Cause that's where all the queer ones go. Clanking dwarves, dozy lizards. I even saw him drag a void woken down there in the dead of night. Don't know what's going on in that tavern, but it must be a freak show in there.
Maybe I'm glad I ain't pulling carts of stinking fish round no more. But what's a beast to do if not pull? Here's hoping. I've heard many a bull that's been sold off after the work's dried up. I doubt they were happy.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keep to yourself, lizard.
Once this was a fishmonger's or a tackle shop.
Wars are brewing, my friend, and we may find ourselves on different sides, in which case prices will go up. Buy now while you still can. Special prices for you while we're still friends. War is hell, my friend, but it's very good for business. Good luck to you.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Justinian executes 24 noblemen for insubordination.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Divine order to march against the ancient empire!
Cold steel.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Bishop
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Tell me, have you heard any news?
Nothing good. The void woken are everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes, of course.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
You needing supplies? I'd stock up if I were you. It's madness out there. Never seen anything like it.
Dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar. They don't come visit your tunnel. Who will?
Until later, then.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
Have you heard any news?
They don't come visit your tunnel. Who will?
They're everywhere. Thank the divine you're here to protect us.
Yes.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
You're not a call for the junk yourself, then?
Junk? What? For nothing less than the wisdom of the ancients. And
Vapid fiction, along with a large helping of ham.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right.
My word, but you do look exhausted. I bet you could use a touch of
Never
magic.
forget it.
Yep.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Enjoy your freedom while you can, Lizard. Your day's coming. Oh, yeah, it's coming all right. Good day. When the war comes, I won't have it said that I fraternised with the enemy. So good day to you.
And a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of
The dog
vinegar.
lies there quietly, clearly in great pain.
What are you looking at? I'm sick here. Get lost.
I don't come visit you.
Got a pain in the neck. Got a bad pain in the neck.
It flinches. A low, threatening growl builds within its throat. Under the collar, you find the sharpened points of metal rivets, gouging the poor dog's skin. The dog bares its teeth at you and growls. The dog gives you a long, hard stare, but does not bite you. Yet. The dog goes to bite your hand, and then realizes the pain is gone.
Hey, I feel okay. Thanks. Think I'll wander off now. Here, before I go, what can I do to show my gratitude? Master did. Huh? Wait a minute. Master hurted me? Excuse me a minute. I'm gonna go now, but first I have a thing I need to do.
He turns to his master.
You bad man, you!
Back off. Locals first. You want to make war, you can eat elsewhere.
Penny for a grieving beggar whose dog ran away. God damn it. That was my livelihood. Penny for a grieving beggar? I reckon I'm owed it here. No. You wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, yes. You would do that, wouldn't you? I couldn't prevail upon you to change your mind, could I?
He gives you a cool look, then rummages in his pocket. He counts the money out and hands it over.
That's your lot. Go on then. Get lost, you freeloader. I'm working here.
What kind of rat would sell
Exclusive among friends.
The kind that don't fancy starving.
Culprits! Hey, this news! Fresh from the war owl! Hear all about it! Many a latest, my friend. The war, the bishop, the queen. What tickles your fancy? 7 savers. Stabbed in the back he was by them vile, no-born, treacherous seekers. Kill them all, I say. Do them like Magister Raymond did old Lady Siva. That'll teach them traitors. I mean, they doomed us all, didn't they? The son of the divine is dead. Gone. Who'll save us now? Jolly Justinia, Queen of the Dwarves. Ha! Scourge, more like. Here's 20 or so noble gentlemen. No one knows what they did wrong, if anything, and she has them stripped and whipped all the way to the execution grounds. Didn't even give them the dignity of the sword, no sir. Had them all hung. Real slow like. You ask me, and I say she's mad as a mink with its tail on fire. Queen or no queen? Figured you'd ask me about that. Ain't looking too good for you, lizards. Word is, the Divine Order's gonna hit your empire, and hit it hard. You remember what happened to the elves, don't you? Ain't no one left standing when you treat them to death, Frog. You're lucky to be so far from home, and no mistake.
don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
Calm as a coiled spring held tight, this silent watcher stands tense before you. It seems to be waiting for something, but what is not clear.
Keeping it together,
On the double.
If there's no work for an honest dwarf like myself, the likes of you don't stand a chance, mate. Best not linger. Your lot tends to rile people up.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. Barrels and the chests.
A vision of a bleak past, deafening silence, blinding shadow. You see everything and nothing. A vision of a bleak past, deafening silence, blinding shadow. You see everything and nothing. The present fades. You see nothing, save the swirling delirium of the void itself. You'd swear the shark was smiling at you.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double.
Raspy gusts of breath wheeze from the creature's badly mangled mouth as he lifts and drops cargo with automaton-like precision.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double. You too, Julian. Show 'em how it's done, man.
There's a lot of calls for the junk you sell, then.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo.
Less